election because we have not gotten the final details of this county, so therefore we have got to go all the way down to number 6, any of the election items.
So, with that being said, we're hoping maybe to get to the end of the week, but when we get to the superintendent's report, we'll talk more about the next couple of board meetings that we have. On number 6, sent this to you in the packet, election of Travis County School District Board of Directors. I sent you all the resumes of everybody that's running. Our school district has a total of 30 votes that we can either provide or give to one. We can divide them up if that's the board wants to go. A lot of these candidates, Mr. Stoner, Miss Nicole Conley, Mr. Stoner, had some meetings with her. She's very sharp lady. She's a former CFO of Austin ISD, has a lot of knowledge, and she was also in the when the issue between the and Travis County district was having their issues. She was a big clog in getting that, being a part of that. So certainly it's up to the board which direction go, but we do know Ms. Conley or Ms. Conley and think she's a pretty awesome person. A lot about school finance. So, we pass this resolution that's provided in the packet, and we'll just make a motion to cast our vote in whatever order you like.
How many candidates are in this thing?
Like 15 or something?
16.
I'd like to cast my votes for Conley, but is that how we want to do it? Say who we're going to nominate for and then fill out the, because I think we could split one or two.
You can't split the vote.
Does anybody have their knowledge of anything else? I turned to Jason. He obviously has more experience with TCAD than.
So I say I move that we vote as a board.
Yeah.
First of all, motion.
I second.
I don't have any objection to it.
Vote as a block. That's your first. So we have a second to do that.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? For what?
Don't have that. Go over all the candidates, not only that, but in the past have not voted.
Okay, 6-4-1 abstain. That's typically what they vote as a block, because we're 35 votes. So.
Yeah, so make that clear.
That's fine. And again, is strictly because I don't try to play guesswork with this. I go to people that work every single day, so that's why.
I've sat in multiple, and she's absolutely fantastic for the school. One of the best. She's a great lady.
We have a motion for her in particular. Sorry, I'm getting the name. I don't mean to be rude.
Nicole Conley.
I apologize.
I'll second
the block that we amend Nicole Conley.
We have a motion for Nicole Conley. Second. We've already voted.
I'll second.
Rich made the second. Who made it? David Scott made the motion. Right? Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
6-4-1 abstain. Thank you for your input. Jason. And I had no clue.
Like that.
Sure.
Heard of people who are smarter than me.
Mustaches.
It's a mustache.
Discussion and possible action for survey results, and I actually had to because I or something. I couldn't figure out why we were seeing this on the agenda. We gave a directive to Darren to survey the students and come back with results from that particular.
so I provided you results from last month's high school kids, with the then we gave this out to our high school kids through campus multiple times, and then we also to the middle school kids as well. So you have 3 different surveys. You can kind of see which each campus, how they answered the question. And I sent you something this morning that calculated all of the 500 responses, added that up and broke down the percentages, and you can see if you look at all 3 surveys, increased mental health 68%, metal sensors at 3 doors were at 44, 39, additional resource officers 7, additional perimeter, which was probably 3rd, maybe at the 3rd or 4th in the middle school. 20% entry resistant 16, and clear backpacks were 10.
I was impressed by the response. It's the number of responses, but definitely, obviously, they said it the same way administration did on mental health.
Right.
So
So
impressive that they've identified that need as well. That speaks volumes.
So, like I say, you can look at the 3 different surveys, how they by campus or by, and so wanted to provide information. There was some discussion last meeting about increasing our support. I know and Susie have already started working on what that would look like, and so I'd like to maybe get some direction from the board. I think that is a key component. Like I said, last board meeting, we visited with the team before that. Also, thinking, increased mental health students would be a huge asset for a kid. So,
Didn't we talk about cities, the licensed social workers? Social workers, yeah.
I've been in the process of looking at what that and so make sure that's the direction we wanted to go. Is there a direction we would like to go on top of that?
I think that's a great start. A way to get somebody in here occasionally. I know when there's trauma, we bring them in occasionally too.
So we had a webinar, T-Chat, which is through Dell. That provides us with everything they do is remote. So so remote to mental services. It's short term. They do wraparound services. In terms of could we sign up for to come in a certain number of days or something like that? That certainly would be something to invest. I think our need is probably greater than that. If I'm honest.
I think it's somebody on
I
campus.
think.
I was just thinking as an intermediary step.
And so we're looking at the legal side of the chat, just making sure that it policies in terms of referral for counseling services. But I think that's the other piece of that is inside of it. As Cossack experience with it in another district, it itself can be an amount of bandwidth in terms of through the referral process, if that makes sense. Our resources are already fairly stretched thin. So yes, I think that's probably the step. And there's some lower services that wouldn't require as much bandwidth counseling staff, but contracted services you could do for work. Ideally in the community.
I believe the Hope Center has counselors.
Yeah.
Yes, and they've been a wonderful source of support for families and students. The ability to have case management is really kind of a crucial function as a social worker, is that they're not just providing the services, but they're also reaching out to families and connecting them with resources for long-term. They really case manage some of your more critical needs, and I think that's just kind of where we are.
guess I kind of is like because our counselors don't have the opportunity to serve as what old school parents traditionally see counselors. They're doing college planning, all that other stuff. It's not like when I was, where if you had a problem or something was going on, you counselor. That's what I was envisioning. I hear kids say mental health issues that be on staff.
And there's tiers, right? School counseling is not grief and trauma counseling. It's not substance abuse counseling, and really heavy things that see, and especially at the secondary level, it much becomes academic counseling. A huge part, and it's always been a part of the role. It seems over time.
But it's the number one with parents as well. I mean, I'm an older parent with the girls. I was always the older. There are a few parents that say maybe my kid can't even go talk to a counselor. All they get is college. I'm like, no, it's kind of morphed. It's come along. It's morphed in a very different.
And a lot of schools do have social for that express purpose to really serve. They don't do any of that. They don't do testing. They are there for mental health support.
Envisioning when we were talking about what we were moving forward was finding somebody who could be that resource. And I understand sometimes you have referrals, but there are some kids. I mean, clearly kids are dying. Mental health is an issue, so there's a need for them to go. It's very unusual for kids to identify.
In our relationship meeting, we talked about more than one
I don't doubt that.
with the number of.
That's the thing that jumps out at me is like it's parents are surveyed, mental health needed. So question is, what are we doing about that? As I'm out in the community, opinion me as their representative, I think we need to close the door on the guardian Marshall program. It's been an open question for a year. Board, not tonight, but I'd love to see it on the future. We need to have a perspective and just close that door because it keeps getting asked and asked and asked. We don't have an answer, and we need to have an answer. Perspective is, and then we can move on. It'd be great if we can get that on the agenda.
Is December?
It's up to you guys. I mean, whatever you think. Let's close that door and
So you mean to put it on the agenda discussion to decide?
Discussion.
What about this? What about this? And just gotten to where we're action.
What we settled on.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that, but that isn't showing that it's high on anyone's priority. One of the reasons I went with the survey was to see what I'm the priority. I guess what I'm saying is we're going to discuss something and on it, no pun intended, answers at entry doors, right? That was number. So do we want to talk about the guardian? I don't want to talk about it. I just thought that this survey was to identify what the community, what the parents, what the prioritize.
Sure. It just wasn't of the
Yeah.
You can't talk about it because it wasn't even an option on the survey.
Say that it's not an option because we already we don't need the Marshall or Guardian plan because we're in compliance with House Bill 3. The that are adopting those plans are doing to establish compliance. We already have it.
Totally get it. But we also had a deficit budget for the first time in the school district, right? And part of that deficit is to pay for the security, to make us compliant with the thing that came down from Austin. So another step forward would be to relieve those people of their service at an expense and save that. It's we have to be that we're in compliance at a deficit budget.
And this was, Carol, y'all been on it for a while. This was 5 ago, and it was never or anything like that. I think it was discussed for the Guardian plan. Maybe before COVID, if I'm not mistaken.
We did talk about it.
Right, but it was never. Right.
It didn't put hold at that time.
We can start putting it on the agenda, and like you're saying, as the board decide what direction we're going if it's so, then that's what it is. Or-
I'm not advocating for it.
Yeah.
I'm advocating for a decision,
Yeah,
because people are asking, why? this
Well,
isn't
maybe
happening?
just having this exact discussion on the agenda
Yep.
saying this is why we went this way at this time.
100%.
I get it.
all right. Make sure it's on December.
But what has been discussed, we've done a great job with regard to fortifying, securing, awesome job, and now all of a sudden it is about mental health. And we hear everyone clear, what I'm hearing from you is let's get some resources in here. Obviously, whatever the recommendation is, that's what the recommendation is, but long-term approach, strategical perspective, going to add on top of that? Are we going to add services, things of that nature? That look like going forward? I know what you're saying is resources. Long term, what are we thinking? Adding on top, build on our mental wellness strategy.
I hope that would be the person that we're going to talk about.
I do see that in part being a function of that, because there are certain populations that would be one. Another one where, we're seeing need is McKinney-Vento, which is our population. And so, a lot of those are community programs, so, we do have instructional side of that too. So mental health and wellness teaks all the way through, making sure that we have, tier one of like we're reaching every kid through this instruction, that Viking success class, and intermediate, that is our Viking Valor class in middle school, our lifetime nutrition and wellness in high school. So, that tier one instruction, but really just having the bandwidth that my needs serve them, and really having the personnel to run those programs. ECHAC itself is a program, has a lot of, I think, capacity to do a lot of good. It's the personnel side to really own that.
Got it.
And be that link.
And obviously not minimize anything at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just saying that we're hearing it loud and clear, we need to move forward with that phased approach strategy.
Have a dedicated emphasis in any person for mental health.
We also don't, mental health is this big open, it could be bullying, it could be these many. So as you get somebody that can diagnose, they could say these folks would benefit if we had group.
And it
These
changes,
are
right?
one-on-one.
And it
Yeah.
changes based on lots of variables, right? And so somebody to really kind of of the need and address it in not retroactively.
Are you looking at one person, or are you looking at multiple people for different
Visiting
cases?
with leadership, you would think two, right?
Yeah, I would
And
think.
then let's jump into that and let's just see, from there, see what that looks like. So,
Yeah, I think we're going to have to make it work. I realize we don't have a budget, but I think we're just going to have
But realistically, you've thought about that much, what kind of budget are we talking about for, if we did, all in, are we a couple $100,000?
well, it depends on what it is. That's what Olivia is studying psychology. She sees all that stuff all the time. They
Administratively, paid position, generally speaking, if you're going to find somebody, who's worth hiring. I am curious if there's any, in terms of the next legislation related to schools, health and wellness.
It'll be a ticket item.
Yes, and there's discussion of this for any increases for schools in the form of special allotments. And so my guess is it would be difficult for them to find a path forward without a lot of, without that.
Obviously, districts like Leander, resources, unbelievable resources to do this. Pure ISDs our size. In our that sort of thing, do we have schools that are similar?
I don't know.
The ones I know tend to slightly higher numbers of low socioeconomic status students and they qualify for additional programs. We just, communities and schools require you to be at the 40%, and we're just not there. So that, that does mean that we're going to dig into our own pockets more so than our peers in terms of meeting.
Okay, well, I was just curious.
So, just to get some direction, you got the posting of that position and see what type of response we get.
Start something.
Need a motion? I mean,
If you want to make it a motion, that's fine. If not,
Motion.
Huh?
We need to make it.
fast.
I don't think we
need
did.
to make a motion.
no, just move forward with
Yeah,
it.
that's fine.
Thank you.
And I'll give you updates. If it's not, we don't have it next month, I'll kind of give you what that looks like, what we're doing, things like that. All right. Anything else on the results? So next month I'll have a discussion of the school guardian Marshall Plan as well.
Has everybody gone over the financial reports and minutes? Any issues? If not, I need a motion.
I move that we consent agenda is posted.
The motion from Greg is Kevin? All aye?
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0.
Maybe,
Huh?
I say I recommend we collect a little bit more money.
Superintendent report.
Okay, a couple here. I first want to just compliment the Veteran Day program today. It was, what our kids blow me away every time they do this, good job. Third grade, the band, the debate team, all the teachers. Suppose I think we had 80 to 100 veterans sign up. I don't know how many actually showed up. Again, I just want to, kids and Miss Hooten and the other ones that helped put that on. The gym was packed, and I know Gerald was here, and so I just mention and give a shout out to them. So, as you know, results from Travis County are not in. We canvass those votes whenever we get here. We have not anything from Travis County. So we get the results. We will post the agenda. What we've done the last couple of years is people come up. Sometimes it's been 3. We only need 2. We come up in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll need to post it 72 hours, call the meeting, and then need a couple. And it doesn't have to be. You just can't beat Kevin or David since they're being officially voted. So I would need 2 of you guys to there whenever they do come in. And of course, I have 72-hour notice.
Just text.
What's that?
Just text me.
Okay. All right. You're all good with that. Then as soon as we get them in, I also received the long-range facility plan last week. When I visited a couple of weeks ago, he said, "Darren, I've got other things, meetings lined up that I can't miss for different reasons." And of course, I wanted y'all to have time to read through it because it was a robust document. So, what I would like to ask forward, in case he is open to this, we suggested it as a board. We want to have a meeting, a standing meeting to discuss this document, or come back in the December board meeting to discuss. So, what special
I think
meeting?
it should be special just because of the information, but I'll defer to what everybody else.
So, what I will do, if that's the way you want to go, I will, Casey, get some dates that he for sure be here. I'll send those to you, and we will try to get 7 here.
Can I the way around?
Okay.
Find out available and let him know.
Either
I mean,
way.
that's like, I know he's a busy guy, but we're not the other way, so it'd be great, like, we all want to be here.
Can y'all provide me that by tomorrow, or end of the day tomorrow?
In December or between now and December?
This point now and next board.
Easiest on a Monday.
It's a board meeting
Pick
on the
up.
9th.
Send them
Let
the
me-
manifest.
Let me jump.
Well, we have to jump to the
So,
December meeting. The discussion about
So-
the current issues with December.
yeah, our next meeting is scheduled for the 9th, in December. Auditors have been in our office for the last couple. They would like to try to get the audit completed in December. Mr. Stoner wants to be completed in December, but a lot of work behind the audit. If you guys approve it, then there's a lot that Mr. Stoner has to do to get TEA by the end of January. We were up to the last day, and that's pressure to get all that in into TEA. Jason visiting with the auditors earlier, they feel like the 9th would be maybe you guys to have enough time to review it and to, to go through it and have any questions if you need it. We asked the auditors if have it ready on December the 16th, which is a week later. They said they could do that, and so I would ask that we move the month's meeting from the 9th to the 16th, which is just a week later, if that's the direction of the board.
Time to time, it just hits weird with all what Jason needs to do in order to get all the information.
If you'd like to add to that.
More of what Darren said, there's quite a bit of back-end work that's required, that subject to the timeliness that the auditor can provide to us. Well, oftentimes we'll review at the meeting as a draft, but it's not polished. A polished audit is what has to be submitted to TEA. Things that we have to wait on them for. By presenting that in January, it really kind of compresses that window. Make sure that all of that is accurate once we do TEA. Like I said, we're held to how quick ADIP can get that information. So if we can do that in December, then we won't have to sweat as much to what we submit is official and clean.
So we keep the 9th as the original day for Casey, and then after for a regular schedule.
He's got the 9th marked off on theirs anyway. Right?
Yeah, works for me.
Okay.
16th, adding on a special meeting or a regular meeting on the 16th work. So we may have just killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
I try.
So regular meeting on the
Care
16th.
check and all that shit.
On the 9th. All right.
Yeah, it is.
Job.
Regular on the 16th.
Okay. Very good with that.
Problem solved.
All right, and so yeah, that's got on the superintendent's report.
That's all.
Can I-
That's all.
Well, I know, but I have a question about, just
Is it about
on the,
land purchase?
no, I won't bring that up. I did see on the facilities things, is you were going to change the date on that, but the other thing that I know, that they're saying that the capacity of this pipe is 1,200. I thought I read in there that it was that. Educationally, we were told when it was 700. You could add another 700, you could another wing and put another kids up here. And I'm ballparking numbers.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that that number was correct.
Your methodology is a little bit different than the methodology from the architect back then, because we questioned that. And David, I'll have to go look at those numbers. It's been a week since I've looked at
I mean, before we meet again, I understand that because capacity, there's no way you can put 12 in this facility. I mean, we can't feed this, we have difficulty feeding the kids we have now.
The common area.
That common area type thing. And I knew that that's what we had with the bond, that they're saying that we have over 1,000 kids here now, I'm like, so I just want to make sure, and I saw their number, 25 per kids at 75 capacity or whatever in the academic thing, but the common areas just doesn't, the math doesn't work.
Because I think what he was talking about, if it goes to that number, then you're gonna have to either blow the kitchen out or.
There's $4.5 million, there's $2 million plan to do that, part of the, when we add the academic, blow the kitchen out, make it bigger and all that sort of stuff, to expand the high school, and then
So I think that's key, like, in case you come in for this special meeting and
Yeah, I'll mention this.
the facts.
and I need to take, right, I'll make notes and I'll send it, you say, hey, these are the things that I'm
Yeah, do
questioning.
that.
That's not, I don't want him to come here and then it doesn't be right if we surprise him.
That might be, if y'all have questions,
Yeah.
get them to us, that can give them a month,
Okay.
dig through it and answer for you. And I may see if he can maybe provide some of those before the meeting, way, if you have a follow-up question or something.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so, we're meeting on the 16th, but the call meeting will be on the 7th. And that's all I've got, unless somebody else.
Anybody have anything else? 6:32.